Hi, everyone, and welcome to Fox 9 Sports Now. The Wolves with the longest winning streak going into the NBA. You're happy to be here.
I am. It's good to see you, my friend.
Kevin Lynch, Mr. Basketball, Mr. Gopher, Mr. NBA, Mr. Bally Sports North. Great analyst on all those. Unfortunately, they bounce you. Unlike the Timberwolves, you guys got bounced from the playoffs, but the Wolves have not as of yet.
No,
and it doesn't seem like a fluke. That was the main thing I wanted to bring up here. We're all kind of like, well, what's happening here? What's going on? And now the confidence is so high in the fan base and everybody watching this team that this doesn't seem like a fluke right now.
They have a legitimate chance to get to the finals. They really do. This is, and I've been saying this the last couple of years. I said before last year started, I said this is the most talented roster they've ever had. Then, of course, they made the trade for D'Angelo Russell and Mike Conley and Alexander Walker. And they're talented, Jim. They're good enough to get to the finals. Who knows? They get there, and maybe they can win it all. But in some ways, I'm not surprised because they've played Denver tough this year. They actually played them well last year. And with the talent and the depth they have on this roster, I never envisioned them, sweeping Phoenix in that first round, considering what happened in the regular season. But they're playing well, and I think they're rallying around what has happened to Chris Finch. That's another reason to play motivated. So you're right. They're confident right now.
Yeah, it's remarkable what they've done. Anthony Edwards upped his game again, set a new personal record, pouring in 43 in Game 1 as he led the Wolves to victory. You saw something in his game that stuck out to you. His mid-range jumpers. Why was that important to you? What did you see there?
But, there's been a revolution that's gone on in the sport of basketball, and it kind of started with Golden State winning championships, the way they were making threes with Curry and Thompson.
Right.
And that is kind of filtered down to youth basketball, high school basketball, college. Take threes. All this efficiency, this word that's so overused. In my opinion, efficiency. No, there's a place to take three-point shots if you have the players that can make those type of shots, and that's fine if you're Golden State. But the mid-range game is almost a negative thing to go to, and you look at from Kawhi Leonard to Kevin Durant to Anthony Edwards, these shots that he's making, Jim, are good shots. He can make them. He needs to continue to take them and not buy into all this crap of only take threes or dunks or layups at the basket. These are great shots for him, and I hope he continues to make them. All the top players in this league, I don't care, you can name off all these great scorers. A lot of these guys, if they're perimeter players, take their fair share of mid-range shots, and those are good shots. Look at that beautiful move right there, that crossover into that 20-foot kind of fadeaway. That's just a beautiful shot and beautiful move.
All right, the amazing part of Edwards' game is how he has grown up so much when it comes to the mental side of the game, Kevin. That's what really hit me after the Wolves swept Phoenix. There was Ant recalling giving advice to Karl Anthony Towns. They had a post-game press conference together.
After Game 4.
After Game 4, they sat down together and listened to what Edwards tells the story of what he told Towns the night before.
What did I tell you last game?
He said, yo, can you find a way not to foul him? I said, I'm going to try my best.
If you watch the game, every time in the third quarter when we would grow a lead, it's because he's in the game. Because they don't have a matchup for him. I'm like, Cat, we're not going to win Game 4 if you foul. I told him yesterday, we're not going to win Game 4 if you keep fouling. You keep fouling.
I mean, to me, that shows how much he's matured, that he's not thinking about what he does. Yeah. He's thinking about how to win the game. And here's a 22-year-old telling the veteran what to do on the court. You'd think the story would be the other way around. Towns putting his arm around and say, hey, we need you to do this. No, it's the other way around. And I think am I reading into something too much here?
I mean, it's a playful situation, so I think they're having fun with each other. I think there's some truth to it in the fact that Edwards is at the point now, Jim, where he's kind of established himself as a young star player in this league, or whatever you want to call him, and he's starting to think about other things more so than just where am I going to get my shots, my points, and handling my business. That's kind of maybe the next step of being a great leader. on a team that's going to win or potentially win something big at this level is start thinking about teammates. I mean, that's kind of at least in my opinion, that's maybe the final step to being a all-time great player is can you raise the level, can you make your teammates look better than they really are? And that, so you can handle all your business of scoring and putting up all these numbers, but can you be a leader and inspire your teammates to be better players? And I think that's an indication. Plus, let's not forget, I think this coaching staff is trying to put more responsibility. So they're reminding him, this is not, what he just said to Towns doesn't just come from Anthony Edwards.
No.
It's Finch, it's the other assistant coaches telling him, hey, we need you to lead, we need you to talk to your teammates and inspire them as well. So it's a group thing for sure.
All right, speaking of coaching, how big a concern was it going into this game, Chris Finch not being able to be on the court because he just had surgery? He was on the side, but before we get your take on how you thought it worked, here's Chris Finch today on how it went for him in game one.
A little surreal, kind of being, just that much, separated from the action, if you will. But it was great. I felt like I was in a safe place. I have utmost confidence in our staff and their ability. I thought they did an amazing job. We communicated well. Of course, it was all made better by a really, really good win. So yeah, it's our new reality. We just got to find a rhythm. It's going to take a little while to keep refining it, but I'm confident that we'll make it work at a high level.
So how did it work in your mind? What did you see? Did you see the players getting the information relayed to them in time? Or were the timeouts messy or anything like that?
Well, I think Finch went into some of the timeouts. He got on his crutches and was in there as well. And he was sitting right behind the bench. And there was a lot of communication, at least from what I could see, with the other assistant coaches as well as Mike and Nori. So they're constantly talking as the game is going on. Finch is just a few feet away. He's just sitting down instead of standing up. And, so there's communication going on. And let's not forget, too, Jim, Mike Conley is kind of a coach on the floor. You got a few veteran players that Gobert, Kyle Anderson as well. So there's enough leadership to handle their business and go into an environment like Denver and get a W. That's very impressive, and I think they're going to be just fine. And look at it this way: it's a way to kind of rally another motivation, like I just said.
Yeah, right.
Our coach is kind of down. He's had knee surgery. He's not the same guy. We love this guy. Let's win it for Chris Finch, type of thing. So hey, let's use that as well.
All right, I like it. Let's pull it all in. Everything we can grab onto right now. Straight ahead, the sixth man of the year continues to show why he's such a valuable piece of the puzzle as we sit down with Naz Reid out in Denver. And the luck ran out for the rally sausage as the Twins went